Welcome or welcome back. I am Ashley Nicole. For those who do not know me, the last time y'all saw me was during Christmas time. I was attempting Vlogmas. The crazy part is I did film most days. I did not edit most days. So I think I got through about day 10 and the rest is just on the memory card. It's a lot going on. Today is January 22nd, 2025. That is crazy to me. A lot going on. I have, for one, 30 minutes before a pretty cool meeting. I'm not gonna say like important, or I mean it could be important. I don't know. I'm feeling a lot of things. But the reason I turned on the camera is because I realized my hesitation comes from like, what do I want this channel to be? I want it to just be me, like, and I be all over the place. So this might be all over the place. This might be a little random. This might also serve as a vlog, but also a entry, not an entry. What am I trying to say? Y'all ain't even finished my coffee. Hold on. Whew. Okay. Y'all know how I have a playlist of videos that are specifically about my health. That's what I was looking for. Cancer vlog. This could be partially cancer vlog. This could be partially regular vlog. Or whatever. But I had an experience, and I'm about to rush through this. Thank the Lord for my recent smoothing treatment. I had an experience yesterday, a couple hours ago, that made me realize something that I don't say out loud often. I probably said it out loud, but I don't think I say it out loud often, and I don't think I really processed it, and I don't think I realized how I would be triggered by it, right? So I'm rambling, but backstory is that for those who know me, I'm trying to turn this heat down. Clearly my brain is all over the place, but it's hot in this bathroom. Okay. For those of you who do know me, you know that I am 32. Thank you. I know I'm probably look 16. But one of my goals for this year is to look older. That's not older, but like to look my age. That's not relevant to the story. Anyway, I'm 32 years old. I have no children. I have not been in a serious relationship in a couple of years. And obviously I keep wanting to say I'm new to Texas. I still feel new though. This will be year 4 or 5. This will be year 4. And since I've been here, I've been in one serious relationship. And I've dated. I don't have the best of luck. Not luck. I don't know what to call it. I'm trying to reframe it actually. But the point of this video is to kind of bring together parts of my life in my head. And I'm thinking out loud. So again, I'm a ramble. If you want to be here, be here. Gosh darn it. Okay, so 32, single, no children, in a still fairly unfamiliar place. And I live with a rare chronic blood cancer. And that sounds really big, bad, and scary. And it can get big, bad, and scary. But the one symptom that I deal with the most is migraines. And the migraines are pretty debilitating. I didn't realize for a long time that, oh no, a piece of hair got in my coffee. I didn't realize for a long time that I was really insecure about my health when it came to dating and interacting with others, but specifically dating. It's been a long journey of me trying to first come to terms with everything, like, you know, accepting this is my new reality. I think I've talked about that before. You know, making the lifestyle changes because that's what I need to do, as opposed to trying to be or feel like the person that I was before. And I say that like I was still a person in pain, but I was a person who would ignore the pain, push through the pain, and then eventually my body was just like, girl, we got to do something else. So in attempts to be a healthier person, I had to, I mean, honestly just come to terms with like, the things that I'll have to do on a daily basis that most people don't have to do, in order to keep myself at a good baseline and hopefully above the baseline. So with that still being a journey, I will say, because sometimes I'm really good at it, sometimes I'm not. So with that being a journey still, I feel like I didn't realize how hard it is sometimes for me to communicate with other people, right? A lot of it is things that I'm telling myself, and again, the journey of coming to terms with like, okay, this is my life. But a lot of it is also, I don't want to say trauma. I also don't want to downplay it. But like, you know, past experiences that in the moment I didn't realize how, I'm trying to stop cussing, how crappy it was, you know? Do I just jump right into what? Okay, so let me just in general, I've been in relationships before, or dating people, or talking to people, whatever you want to call it, but all of that actually. Where though aware of my circumstances, so the, you know, significant other was aware of my circumstances, I don't feel like it was received in a healthy way, and I don't feel like it's always handled with care. Now, with that being said, that's not to bash anybody, because a lot of that early on had to do with me and the way that I talked about it, the way that I looked at it. So, I mean, I can't really expect someone else to have a healthy view of it, or a helpful view of it, if the way that I frame it is always very critical and like, this is a burden, right? Ironic timing. My life is a freaking sitcom, not a movie, a sitcom. So yeah, I've had some bad experiences. I've had some okay experiences, but again, it's all like relative to like what I was able to accept at that time, and what I, not even able to, just what I was willing to accept at that time. But a couple years ago, I had a situation with a really, really, really sweet guy. Again, I'm not here to bash anybody. A lot of my issues are my own, right? Had a situation with a very, very, very sweet guy. Honestly, not my normal type. I don't really go for sweet guys. Like sweet, like on the inside, like hard outer shell, sweet on the inside, yes, but just outwardly sweet, like, oh my gosh, you're such a sweet person. Like, that's not usually the type of guy that I go for. So I was trying something new, you know. Circumstances was great. Like, when I just very thoughtful, very sweet, all the things that a girl asks for, you know. But for whatever reason, I'm still like, this not me, this not me. But I'm trying for it to be me, because obviously, like, who don't want that? I don't know. You know, I was trying to rewire my brain, right? Again, nothing against the guy at all. But there came a day where, so long story short, he was very aware of my conditions. I was still drinking back then, not a lot, but often enough, I guess. So he was aware that was a trigger for my migraines. He was aware that I had, you know, these things going on, and this was before the anxiety medication, y'all. So he was aware that I was very anxious and I would have anxiety attacks. He was aware that, you know, I would have like random pain crises or whatever. Again, something I talk about openly. I don't really hold that back. But the way I talk about it is probably issue sometimes. But I feel like this was the start of me having a healthier, more proactive view on it. And I thought it was a good person to kind of try out this approach with, right? Well, there came a day where I needed him to put all the information into action, because I was in so much pain that I could not move. I could not open my eyes. I was starving. There was a lot going on. And I needed all of the conversations that we had about, you know, what I normally do, what I try, what medicines I'm taking, you know, like what I need in those moments. I felt like I had prepared, like we had prepared for this day, right? And when the day came, he froze. And again, I remember having a conversation with one of my best friends, Sean, the day after or a couple days after, and him, you know, like admitting to the fact, like, he's never, I don't even think he's seen me like up close and personal like that, but he's seen, you know, the decline of like being okay one minute and me being like, oh, I gotta go home, or like, oh, like, let me go take a nap, I gotta get off the phone or whatever. And how scary that can get, because sometimes it just takes over. Or, you know, if it's a really bad one, how I might not be able to answer the phone or call back, and now I'm missing, you know, all that. So he was like, you know, give him some grace because it's really scary, and that was his first time experiencing that. And I did. Like I said, I'm not here to bash anybody. I do still give him grace, because not only was that his first time experiencing it, it was my first time allowing somebody to experience that. So I don't even, like, all I know is my perspective of how he reacted. I don't remember anything about my tone, like the way, like, I don't remember what I said. I just remember the way I felt. And I felt like I had an attitude because I felt like, okay, here we go once again. This is confirmation bias of why I don't let people into this part of my life, because I'm still going to have to do it on my own, right? So yeah, that was just, and honestly, from that point on, I made a mental note. You know, this is going to be a process. It's going to be a process. But it also helps me realize, like, the type of people I need around me. My friends are very much aware of my day-to-day life. Even if they don't fully understand it, anybody that I am around often, I trust that they would jump into action. And they might not know, I mean, not to say that you won't have the opportunity to ask a question or say, do you need this, do you need that? Like, obviously I'm going to be a participant in the situation, you know, but I'm a panicker. When I go into pain, like when pain takes over me, it takes over my personality, it takes over my thoughts. I can get really depressed really quick, because in that moment, the pain can be so overwhelming, and not even like in the painful way, but just the overwhelming, because it's usually a whole body experience, that I often can't think of, how can I explain this? It's often so overwhelming that not only can I not think about it ever ending, I can't often remember what it felt like before I was in pain, if that makes sense. So in those moments, it's like, this is it. I'm gonna be in pain forever. And that's dramatic, but I'm dramatic. So yeah, I'm already trying to control my thoughts. I'm trying to make sure I have everything with me. And that's another thing. Like, what if I slipped up that day and thought I was gonna be good and didn't bring the medicine and stuff with me? Like, those are things that I'm still working through. So I don't expect things to be perfect, but I do expect someone to stay with me. If that makes sense. Even if it's not necessarily in a physical sense, but like, just be considerate. Don't shut down. That's literally the only thing that I ask. And again, I know that's hard. I know this is not necessarily a lot to ask, because again, I'm very upfront about these things. So if you hear, you know what's up. Anyway, so from there, I made a mental note of like, okay, these are things that I'm still learning, but these are going to be new requirements of my close circle. And accepting the fact that I have requirements, you know, like, it feels super high maintenance, or it feels like a burden, but it is what it is, and I just be having to come to terms with that. So after that experience, I was in a relationship for a very up and down relationship for, I would say, over the course of 2 years. Again, not here to bash anybody, but this relationship is when I realized, okay, I gotta get my anxiety under control, because the one thing I can't do is control other people's reactions, other people's emotions. I can only control how I respond. And I will say this person was much more attentive. But again, I still at this time was working through like, okay, Ashley, you are now that person that has to carry meds with them. You need to be thinking ahead. What water is around? Do I have rescue meds like on me at all times? Do I have is my car stocked with things? Like, what are like I was still coming to terms with the fact that like I could no longer live this like fly by the seat of my pants life to an extent, right? So obviously that's an internal battle or whatever, but the person that I was with was a very spontaneous, that's the only word I can really think of right now, but like very spontaneous person. Like he did not live life by a plan, at least not a very strict one. And so oftentimes I found myself abandoning what I needed to kind of fit. Like I abandoned my safety plan to kind of fit the lifestyle that he was used to. And the lifestyle that honestly I wanted. Like I'm not here to put none of this on nobody else. It's the lifestyle that I wanted. I see somebody living all like free and carefree, and you can drink when you want to. You can go work out every day, and like, you know, you don't have to recover, and you can stay up late, and you know, like all of the things that seem like a regular 20-something, 30-something year old should be able to do. And I just started neglecting all the work that I had done mentally to come to terms with the fact that like, oh, that's cool, but in order to be able to do that stuff, I have to do this first, and I have to have this with me, and I have to have stuff so that I can be a little bit more free, right? So yeah, I feel like that came up a lot in that relationship where, so now I'm like, I've gotten out of the mindset of like being overly prepared, and now we just doing stuff, like getting on the road, driving to whatever. And then something happens and I realize like, oh shoot, I don't have my medicine. Like I gotta go home. Even like staying at his apartment, like I will wake up in the middle of the night with a migraine. There's no rhyme, there's no reason. At this point, I don't know what the rhyme or reason is. But to have to literally disappear into the night to take care of myself, I can intellectually understand how that person view that as like, what are you doing? And me being the avoidant person, not wanting to communicate or not wanting to wake them up, not wanting to disturb them, not wanting to be a burden. So, and that wasn't really the demise of that relationship, but it was one of the things that I took away from it, of like, I need there to be a mixture. Because like I said, he was very attentive, he was very understanding. I was even still having the pain in my hands then. He would rub my hand, make sure I was okay. Like, he was very concerned. So I'm not saying like he didn't give a fuck. I'm saying because he was such a spontaneous, like carefree person, that I started to not give a fuck. And I'm not supposed to be cursing. And that meant that like I was setting myself back, you know, years of work and stuff like that. But I was so anxious about being able to keep up and, you know, not be a burden and all that kind of stuff, that I felt like my anxiety just got completely out of control. So in the fall of that relationship, not the season fall, but like the decline of that relationship, that's when I started anxiety medication. Which, shoot, can come with its own set of symptoms. I think it makes me more dehydrated. They told me it was going to make me have more energy, but I'd be sleepy. You know, all those types of things. But anyway, oh my gosh, I got like 10 minutes. So with that, you know, that was another learning stepping stone. So since then, it's been tunnel vision. Take care of yourself. Get it together. Find things that works. Try this. Change this. You know, eat better. Watch your water intake. Like, keep up with the prescription medicines. Keep up with your doctor's appointments. I'm scrambling money here together. I'm trying to start a health savings account to make sure I don't miss a doctor appointment ever again, or, you know, have to struggle in the case of emergency or whatever. So I've been focused, but that meant not dating, because I know these, okay, not know. In my brain tells me that there are only two options if you want to date. The option of, these are very extreme options. The first option being, that nigga don't care. He don't care. You're gonna be, you can't tell them, you can't make it a big deal, because they're gonna see you as too sick, too needy, too broken, whatever. Which, caveat, in that last relationship, I had a stalker that was a woman that we eventually identified as a woman from his past that would text me things like that. I'm telling a lot. Most people don't know that. So I had this woman that was like reaching out to me all the time saying like, I mean, she was saying the other like, oh, like I got your man, blah, blah, blah. I didn't care about none of that. It was the little things that was getting under my skin because it felt like a direct attack on me. Not like a, oh, like that's my man type. Not regular girl catty stuff. It was like, you think he's gonna be with you forever? Like you have cancer, you're gonna die. Nobody wants to be with a sickly person. Like you're needy. Like she was saying all this. I've never met this person. I don't know. Like obviously all of these things are things that you can find out on the internet. So it wasn't like she was saying anything like he would have told her or anything that felt invasive. It was just like, what is your point? Like, are you trying to hurt me or do you want him back? Because I'm from the school of take him. Not that I didn't love him. Not that I didn't want him. But if that's what's gonna come, like, you take him. If y'all want each other, go right ahead. Like, I'll be fine eventually. So like, it wasn't even that. Because he was very communicative about it. Like, I didn't have any suspicions. Like, it wasn't that. It was the things that she was saying to directly attack me and my, like, emotions. And I'm just like, girl, what did I do to you? And, you know, intellectually, you know, somebody that don't know you. Like, why would I let that bother me? But these were already things that I'm saying to myself. And so, like, now a stranger is saying them. Of course, that's gonna fuck me up. Anyway, so that would be option one. Someone seeing me as a burden, someone seeing me as like a short-term situation because of my health, in a nutshell. The other option would be, man, what's the other option? I can't remember. Okay, so the first option is like, you're not an option. Like, you're a short-term situation. You're not an option because we would want to have kids with, oh, that was another thing that she was saying, like, you probably can't even have kids. Who want to have kids? That's going to be sick too, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so that's the one option. Just be alone because nobody wants to be with a sick person or somebody that's just going to be a burden, right? And then the other option, I don't remember what the other option is, y'all. I don't remember my train of thought. But anyway, so that's where I've been. Because at no point is there 100% guarantee that I will be completely cured, you know? So this is, we in this together. Me and my blood disorder. And everything that comes with it. So, you know, bye. So I've been focused. Take care of yourself. Get it together. Honestly, a little hope in the back of my head of like, find a cure. You can be pain-free one day. That'd be my optimism. And then my pessimism be like, anyway, so yeah, I haven't been dating because I just felt like that's too much. That's too much. It's too much. I gotta deal with my thoughts. I gotta deal with what other people think, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward to current situation. Yesterday, I don't know how y'all do this. You get on these vlogs and talk about y'all for real life. Even though I'm not saying names or anything, I just feel like, girl, you telling a lot of your business. But I think there's a valuable lesson. Well, I don't know what the lesson is yet, but working through. But anyway, yesterday, so this is probably like week 2 of a situation or whatever, right? Just going on dates or whatever. Very casual, honestly not intended to be anything serious. At least for now, I don't know. But anyway, just very casual, very early stages, whatever. He doesn't even live in Texas. So it's like, you know, when you in town, we link up, we have a good time, drinks, food, laughs, blah, blah, blah. Sports, you know, we connect on those things. So yesterday, he got in town and we spent some time together. Well, fell asleep watching basketball or like whatever. In the middle of the night, I get a migraine. Wakes me up out of my sleep. And here's another moment where I'm like, what do we do? Me talking to myself. Because niggas be snoring. And so I'm hot. So I'm having this internal dialogue with myself about like, okay, you could lay here and be fine because it's not full-blown migraine yet, right? You can lay here and be fine, sleep it off, whatever, act like nothing's wrong because you don't want to be a burden to anybody or whatever. That's obviously option 1. But, right, Ashley, we've been here before. Let's not do this. Let's not have a huge setback. So I'm like, okay, I'm more prepared these days. I I know I got rescue meds in my bag. So, again, in an attempt to not disturb anybody or not, you know, I get up, I go to my purse, I'm looking through my purse for the medicine. I can't find it. And I'm like, there's a possibility I left it in a different bag because I had a different bag earlier yesterday. But I know me. And I know how much of a habit I have now of keeping these things on me. So I'm like, it has to be in here. But I don't want to turn on the light. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to disturb anybody. Oh, Jesus. Oh no. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna just get on there. Okay, I got 5 minutes. So anyway, yeah. But then I was like, okay, well, you don't have no meds. I don't know what happened. I fucked up. So let me just lay down. Some comes up, I go home, I get myself together, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm laying there and I'm thinking, no, like, you have meetings tomorrow. Like, you need to be well rested. You need to, like, so I'm having all of these arguments in my head. And deleted. What did I delete? Okay, I don't know who that is. Having all these arguments in my head or whatever. And I'm like, girl, at the end of the day, it's you and you. Now, I don't want to be pessimistic in the sense of like, this man knows what's up. He's actually brought it up to me multiple times. Like, don't discount him and not give him the opportunity to jump into action or like whatever you're looking for. But also, we ain't got time to wait on it, you know? Like, unfortunately, this happened in my sleep. So I decided to say, like, to wake him up and say, like, hey, it's late, but I feel like pain coming. Like, I want to be home by the time, or in case it gets bad. Because if it's full blown, once it's full blown, like, that's hard to stop. And I won't be able to drive, and I have these meetings, and I didn't have my laptop with me, and that type of stuff. And again, he seemed concerned. He was like, what, are you okay? You know, waking somebody up out of their sleep, I don't really expect you to be coherent and have a conversation with me. I just want you to know that, hey, I'm about to go. You got my location, you got everything. Like, I'm gonna make it home safe. So I wasn't tripping about that. BRB. Okay, never mind, y'all. My calendar's messed up. I still got some time. But anyway, you know, I don't expect anybody to wake up out of their sleep coherent or whatever. And he seemed concerned. He was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just want to, you know, be proactive, get ahead of it, whatever. I left, went home. Got myself together. Got a little bit of sleep. And obviously I woke up feeling a lot better, right? I probably won't post this in real time. But, so last night we also had a conversation about a very important meeting I had today, and like, you know, all the stuff that I had to do today and that type of stuff. And I knew he had to be at work at, so he travels for it. That's why he was in town. He had to be at work at a certain time. So waking up at about 8 and not having a text message of like, hey, are you okay? Did you make it home? Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nothing. Not even, I don't expect you to be like, here, I magically made pain medication. Take it. Here's an endless supply of water. Like that. I don't have unrealistic expectations, but I don't think. I mean, that would be unrealistic, but that's not my expectation. I just got really like discouraged of like, damn, is this not a thing? But I know it's a thing because I've experienced it before. Like, I know, I don't know. And it's not a test, honestly. Again, this is very new and whatever. So it's not a test. Like, it's not like he passed or failed. But it's a constant reminder for me about dating with a chronic illness. Like, how... why does it have to be such a process? Like, why does it have to... like, it's almost too much work, I think, is what I get discouraged of. So I have an experience like this. Obviously, this was not the worst experience because there's still room for whatever, for conversation. But I have an experience like this, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more. I want to date. But then I'll sit there on a Friday night and be like, girl, you 32. It's about to be Valentine's Day. Like, so I'm like, what we doing? And I'm also very easily annoyed. So the fact that he made it to week 2 is already like, good job. So I want him to continue to do a good job, you know? For his sake. But anyway, I don't know if anybody else out there in the world has something that's not like, no, I don't. Let me not say that. I was gonna say, I almost wish that my insecurity was like, I think I'm ugly, or I think I'm fat, or like whatever, because that seems fixable. I don't know. And obviously I have physical insecurities, like, but none that hold me back in this way, you know what I mean? So I don't know if this is something that other people struggle with. I'm actually, one of my goals this year is to build more community, and obviously continue to build the one that I was building, around other people, especially Black women, and men too, honestly, with chronic illness. Because what we doing? What's the procedure? What are y'all doing? I know it's many people out there in love and got shit going on. So what am I missing? Am I just overthinking it? I probably am, but and obviously there's a lot more other things. Again, as I talked about before, the type of men that I normally go for is a problem. So yeah, there's a lot. It's just so many layers that I just be wanting to be like, okay, you know what? We're not doing this. That was my rant for today. I mean, in the end, all is well. But it could be weller. It could be weller. Alright, let me hurry up so I can get on this Zoom call. Until next time.
Your eyes tell me that you don't wanna leave just yet. No, my eyes agree. It's almost like a